Louisiana death row inmate, freed after 27 years. The shocking truth finally revealed. True crime documentary. The cold metal door slammed shut behind him, echoing down the long hallway of the Louisiana State Penitentiary. For 27 years, Jimmie Chris Duncan had heard that same sound every day, but today, something was different. Today, a guard looked at him with eyes he had never seen before. They weren't angry, they weren't cold, they were unsure. "Pack your things," the guard said quietly. Jimmie froze. These words almost never came for a man on death row. He sat still for a moment, his heart pounding like it wanted to break out of his chest. For nearly 3 decades, he lived under the shadow of execution, waiting for the day he would be walked into the death chamber. And now, suddenly, he was being told to prepare for something else, something he barely believed was possible. As he stepped out of his cell, other inmates stared. Some whispered, some nodded. Everyone knew what this meant. Something big had happened. Jimmie walked down the narrow hallway, breathing air that suddenly felt different. Every step felt unreal, like he was walking into a dream he didn't trust. At the end of the hall, he saw 2 people waiting for him, his lawyer and a prison official holding a clipboard. "Chris," his lawyer said, voice shaking, "the judge overturned your conviction. You're being released on bail." Just like that. 27 years of his life, gone. He stood there stunned, hearing the words but not truly understanding them. Released was a word he had stopped allowing himself to imagine. He blinked hard, trying to make sure this wasn't a mistake, a prank, a misunderstanding, anything but real hope. Then he saw the papers. He saw the signatures. He saw the official seal. This was real. The shocking truth that forced the court to act, the truth hidden for decades, was finally coming to light. New evidence, bad science. A case built on tests that experts now say should have never been trusted. Bite marks that didn't match, a method that many scientists now call junk science. For the first time in 27 years, Jimmie wasn't walking toward death. He was walking into the outside world. But freedom didn't feel safe yet. As he stepped through the last gate and saw the sun hit his face, he didn't feel joy. He felt fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear that the state might still try to put him back on death row. Fear that the truth, even now, might not be enough. Just as he reached the outside parking lot, his lawyer's phone started buzzing non-stop. Messages, alerts, news headlines exploding across the country. Louisiana death row inmate released after 27 years. New evidence changes everything. Could he be innocent? Jimmie turned toward the cameras waiting for him. Dozens of reporters crowding forward with microphones and flashing lights. This was the moment America had been waiting for. And right as he opened his mouth to speak his first words as a free man, a police cruiser turned into the lot at high speed. Its lights were on, and it was coming straight toward him. The police cruiser stopped so fast, the tires screeched across the pavement. Reporters jumped back, cameras shaking. Jimmie froze where we stood, his hands suddenly cold. After 27 years on death row, any flashing lights felt like danger. 2 officers stepped out. Their faces were tight and serious, and no one could tell what was about to happen. The crowd went silent. Even the wind seemed to stop moving. Jimmie's lawyer quickly moved in front of him. "What is this? He's been released by court order." One of the officers held up a paper. "We're here to notify you of something important. The district attorney is filing a motion to reinstate the original conviction." A wave of gasps swept through the reporters. Jimmie felt the ground tilt under him. His throat dried instantly. He had been free for less than 5 minutes.
The officer continued, "We're not here to arrest him, not yet. But the DA wants him back on death row. The judge's ruling is being challenged." Jimmie's lawyer swore under her breath, then grabbed Jimmie's arm. "We need to leave now. Don't speak to anyone, not yet." They walked quickly toward her car as reporters yelled questions. "Do you think this man is innocent? Is Louisiana trying to reverse the ruling? Was the evidence tampered with? Did the bite mark expert lie in court?" Jimmie kept his head down. Every camera flash felt like a punch. His mind raced back to the moment that ruined his life. The day a baby girl died, and he was blamed. Back then, he thought the truth would protect him. He thought facts mattered. He thought the jury would see he wasn't a monster. He learned the hard way that sometimes science isn't science, and sometimes justice isn't justice. Inside the car, his lawyer spoke fast. "Listen, the only reason you're out right now is because the judge said the forensic evidence was not scientifically sound. And that evidence was the heart of the case." "The bite mark stuff?" Jimmie asked quietly. "Yes," she said. "Bite mark experts claim they could match marks on the child to your teeth, but modern science says it's not reliable. It has put many innocent people behind bars." Jimmie stared out the window at the prison he had just left. "So after almost 30 years, they still want me dead?" His lawyer took a breath. "Some people don't like admitting they were wrong." As they pulled out of the parking lot, another car followed them, then another. Reporters, police watchers, and maybe even people who believed he didn't deserve freedom. Jimmie felt exposed, like the world was bigger than he remembered and far more dangerous. As they drove farther from the prison, his lawyer said softly, "We're heading to a safe place. Somewhere quiet, somewhere we can talk." But before she could finish, a loud bang hit the back of their car. Jimmie jerked forward. Another bang. His lawyer's eyes widened as she checked the mirror. A dark SUV was speeding up behind them, fast. The dark SUV closed in fast, weaving through traffic like it had one target, their car. Jimmie grabbed the door handle, bracing himself as his lawyer pressed harder on the gas. The engine roared, but the SUV kept coming. "Hold on," she shouted. The SUV slammed into the back of their car again. Reporters following behind swerved wildly, camera lights flashing through the windows, tires screeched, horns blared, and for a moment, the whole road became chaos. Jimmie felt his heart jump into his throat. He had survived death row for 27 years. He wasn't about to die on the highway. His lawyer swerved sharply to the right, exiting off the main road. The SUV tried to follow, but a truck cut in front of it, slowing it down just long enough for them to get distance. They sped down a smaller road surrounded by tall trees and quiet houses. The world suddenly felt still again, but the fear stayed sharp. Jimmie kept looking behind them, expecting the SUV to reappear. After a long minute, his lawyer finally whispered, Okay, I think we lost them." Jimmie's chest rose and fell as he tried to slow his breathing. Who was that? Why would someone do that? I don't know. But some people get angry when old cases are reopened. Some think they're protecting the original verdict. Others just want attention. Either way, you're not safe yet.
They pulled into a small, private driveway, far from the main roads. It was a quiet house with a wide porch hidden behind tall bushes. She turned off the engine and placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. "Listen," she said softly. "You are out now because the truth finally came to light. Experts admitted the bite mark evidence was flawed. The judge agreed, and the world is talking about your case. That matters. It means people are watching." Jimmie looked down at his hands that had spent most of their life in chains. "It doesn't feel real," he said. "Every time I think I'm free, something tries to pull me back." "That's normal," she said. "You've been locked up for almost 3 decades. You lived under a death sentence. Your mind needs time to understand what freedom feels like." She opened a bag and pulled out a stack of papers, medical reports, old files, photos from the investigation. "These," she said, holding them up, "are the reason you're free. Real science, real experts, real facts. Not the made-up stuff they used back then." A tear slid down Jimmie's cheek before he could stop it. "Why did it take so long?" Her voice softened. "Because sometimes the system moves slowly, and sometimes it refuses to move until the truth screams so loud it can't be ignored." The room went quiet. Slowly, Jimmie stepped outside onto the porch. The air was warm. Birds chirped in the trees.
For the first time in 27 years, there were no bars, no guards, no death row doors slamming shut, just open sky. But freedom came with a price, uncertainty. A new court battle was coming. The DA would fight hard. Reporters would dig deeper. People online would argue about whether he deserved a second chance. He took a deep breath. This was his new life, a life built on truth, fear, hope, and a fight far from over. As he looked out at the wide open world in front of him, one question echoed in his mind. If the truth set him free, would it be strong enough to keep him free? And for millions watching his story unfold, this wasn't the end. It was only the beginning of the biggest fight of his life.